Hi everyone, and welcome to Sports Watch. If you like the content, please press the bell icon for further notifications and like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Francis Ngannou is set to make his PFL debut finally. After his brief foray into boxing, Francis is back to his original sport of mixed martial arts. It's, however, under the most unfortunate of circumstances. After suffering his first knockout loss to Anthony Joshua, Francis's pride took a beating. It was a bad knockout, and the first time he has ever been knocked out in his career. Then he had to bear the grief of the passing away of his son. The pain was unbearable. For a man who is as tough as nails, Francis broke down. It was heartbreaking to see Francis in that state. Suddenly, life had no meaning for him as he couldn't save his little prince. It was the toughest loss that a man can bear. All this has happened within a space of a couple of months. It takes people years to recover from the death of a child. So, how fit is Francis mentally? It is actually a thing of concern. And if you're not 100%, you shouldn't step into the octagon no matter who you are. It's a ruthless sport that has no mercy. His opponent, Renan Ferreira, is a freak of nature. He's 6 feet 8 inches tall, has a reach of 85 inches, and weighs 265 pounds. He's bigger than Francis and is a knockout machine himself. He made Ryan Bader look like a child when he stood next to him, and one straight right hand was all it took to knock Bader down. It was all over in an instant. Ferreira is the PFL heavyweight champion of the world and one scary dude. He's not the person you want to face in your comeback fight. He's long. He won't get sparring partners that big so easily. And on top of that, he's fast and accurate. So Francis has his hands full. In the press conference, Ferreira sent a cold, stern warning. He admitted that Francis was going through a tough time in his life, but also said the toughest problem would be him. It was a spine chilling warning, especially to someone like Francis Ngannou. Francis, on the other hand, was rather stoic in the press conference. When asked about his motivation to come back, he said that he wanted to fight. He couldn't fight for his son. It literally hits you hard when you hear stuff like that. Ngannou is still in grief. He hasn't yet come to terms with the passing away of his child. Under these circumstances, he could have taken some more time. He also said something that was quite alarming. If you are a Francis fan, he said that he was back at training just 2 months back. So the rust is going to be there. Also, his last two training camps were in boxing. So how much would that impact his MMA performance? All these questions are lingering around. It might not matter in the end because one punch from Ngannou would knock out any human being on earth. His strength is second to none, but the preparation is something of a concern. Luckily, he has Eric Nixick in his corner. Eric is more of Francis' friend than a coach to him, and he would prepare him adequately for the fight. But the man at the opposite side of him is equally intimidating. He is bigger than him. No one usually overshadows Francis in size. But in the stare down, Renan Ferreira looked genuinely bigger than him. Even Jake Paul looked scared to be pitched in between them. Francis Ngannou has a tough task ahead of him. The PFL would also look at this as a huge opportunity. They have always been in the B leagues But this is a fight that can bring them back to the limelight. The UFC heavyweight division is kind of in a lull right now with John Jones not having fought in over a year. No one knows when he will be back to fight Stipe. So if Francis and Renan Ferreira put on a spectacular show, then people will definitely switch their interest over to the PFL. The heavyweight division in boxing or MMA is the most glorified division. And one thing is for sure, this fight is destined not to go past the first round. Whoever lands fast is bound to knock out the other. So can Francis knock out Renan Ferreira, or will the giant, the behemoth Ferreira be too much for the predator Francis Ngannou? Let me know in the comment section what you feel. And if you like the content, please like, share and subscribe to the channel.